Clearly, from the maps announced by the occupation, it attention to the occupations of a great vast majority of territories and the announcement of the leaders by dominating 25% of Gaza territories. According to the map, talking about the settlement started by Philadelphia corridor till Khan Yunis, based on the maps, that's an extended area, mostly half of these borders we're talking about Rafah cities and the coast area as a whole, around 2 kilometers into Khan Yunis. So, and as well as the resettlement in Natsarim, that is another thing in Dir al-Balah too. And another area in the western northern of the Gaza Strip in general. So it's an area that exceeds 25% according to the map. Certainly the curtain that started around 72 hours by the arrivals of the armored battalions of 36 that started within air coverage in complete blocks. And today, according to the Israeli reports by the security, that there is no correspondence to take the or to brief us with the scenes by dominations of the Israeli occupations from Rafah till its centers. That means around half of Rafah under the control. Most dangerously, that just the stranded families due to the lack of vehicles, due to the lack of the fuels to transfer them from their area, and the dangers of the ambulance arrivals, even the medical crews and the international crews following the withdrawal of the international organizations from the working in the Gaza Strip. What's I do not think that would
Sir, can I sorry, can I also ask you another question? And what do you think are the legal and political implications of Israel recognizing 28 new settlements in the occupied West Bank under the international law?
Unfortunately, what all the operations made by the occupations are out of the international law, using the Hungarian weapons, and is in a complete violation of the Geneva Convention's Article 4. Unfortunately, the international community is crippled, along with the announcement from the state of withdrawal of the ICC to protect Netanyahu, whether he is intending that, according to the Prime Minister of Hungary, is a personal friend of Netanyahu. So we're talking on a blatant violations by the Israeli occupations, along with allies against the international law. And violating also Oslo agreement between Palestine and Israel. What's happening in Gaza, along with in the West Bank, around 200 kilometers, along with the annexation of 13 settlements and the return of the relations in the north. All these settlements have been evacuated in 2005. Violates all the agreed conventions and agreements between Israel and Palestine.
Dr. Ayman, what do you think about the Israeli Defense Minister Katz announcing the expansion of the ground operations in Gaza and his intention to capture more territories and add them to what he describes as Israel's security area? Does this constitute a significant shift in the occupation's ultimate war aims?
Clearly, the announcement of the Defense Minister Katz just to prove that they can what is the processors failed, as well as the chief of the chief of staff. So we are entering in a bit of those political maneuvers to prove what their processors failed to do by occupying Gaza or violating all the international laws. They never cared about this or the peace, as we agreed upon of demilitarization state throughout 24 hours following the Arab summit held in Beirut. Its output demanding the Palestinian statehood on the space of 22%. All these pretext is just to eliminate the Palestinian resistance along with and this last campaign, 302, according to the report, were filled down. Among them were children and women. So we're talking about the elimination of all the Palestinian components. And by this, they think that they achieve the victory by annexation of territories, even building settlement, proving that it's a very stupid occupation back to 30 to 40 years in the past, aggressions and hostilities, and they will have to later on throughout the sacrifices to return back. Until now, we never listened of reasonable voices talking about it as a political process. All what's happening is just more bloodshed of the Palestinian people.
Sir, what do you think the impact will be of Ben Gvir's most recent storming of the Muslim holy sites in the occupied East Jerusalem have on the already volatile and tense situation in the West Bank currently?
What has been done, for instance, after his resignation of the 19th January and meet with the sisters to storming the holy places in Al-Aqsa, that affirmed that the conflict is talking about to have the feature of religious conflict, and the Jordan and Egyptian foreign ministry condemning this act, and this conflict is not going to be in Gaza and Al-Quds, but will be beyond that. Unfortunately, this occupation is supported by the U.S., and none of them to provide a political project just for the peaceful coexistence provided by the Arab countries, and the occupation is going to be turned into a conflict of religious interest, and their officials are talking by the U.S. to support the occupation as he is a Zionist, is back to cementing the religious conflict. But it is clearly that they are insist to do so. And these motivations by Ben Gvir and the more than 60 Zionist organizations working within the occupation state, doing all these hostilities against the Palestinian people and its holy places.